Okay, welcome and thank you for joining this webinar about the Bachelor of Business Administration. I'm Karin from the admissions office, and later on in this webinar, I will give you some more information about the admissions process during this webinar, and Rosemarie will also tell you some things about the selection procedure.
Hello, everyone.
You can go to the next slide, please. There's also a Q&A in this webinar. Our colleagues from the admissions office will answer your questions in the Q&A box. You can also upvote questions in the Q&A, so we will answer those accordingly. Please note that we do not answer any specific questions about your eligibility. So just really about the admissions process and not about the selection procedure. Next slide. So the admissions process. Before you can admit it to the Bachelor BA program, you need to meet two criteria. First, you need to meet the entry requirements, so the admissions requirements, such as English proficiency and mathematics, etc. And second, you need to have a high enough ranking number after the selection test, which Rosemarie will explain later on. The admissions process starts in, next slide, sorry. The admissions process starts in StudyLink. This is the system for registration at Dutch universities. The deadline to register via StudyLink is January 15. So if you haven't done this yet, make sure to do this as soon as possible, since it's already January 10. And after your registration in StudyLink, you will receive your UvA ID and a link to your enrollment checklist, which is important because here you can find all the steps you need to take to get enrolled into the program. After that, you need to submit an application in SIS My Applications. The deadline for this is also January 15, so also do this as soon as possible. So we from the admissions office can evaluate your documents and determine if you are eligible. This is only for international students though. To make sure you submit a complete application in SIS, you need to upload a couple documents, such as your CV, your secondary school transcripts, including your final examination subjects, and for some degrees also your predicted grades, and also your secondary school diploma if you've already obtained this. A motivation letter or a recommendation letter is not required. Some students also might need additional requirements. You can check our diploma calculator if you need to, meet additional requirements. There you can find if you need to have an English proficiency test and if you meet the mathematics requirements specifically for this program, or if you need to obtain an extra mathematics certificate. If you do not meet the mathematics requirement for the Bachelor BA program, you can obtain a mathematics certificate. You can find all the certificate courses we accept on our website. I will share the link in the chat later on, so you can check which certificate courses we accept. And please make sure to schedule your mathematics certificate course as soon as possible and upload your results in your application. Because we also need to make sure or need to check your results to make a definite statement about your eligibility. So the sooner the better, but no later than April 1st of 2023. And if you also need to take an English proficiency test, the results also need to be uploaded into your SIS application. Also do this as soon as possible. And the test cannot be older than 2 years. You can check our website with the entry requirements for the minimum scores you need to obtain per specific test. We accept a couple different tests, such as IELTS and TOEFL, so you can check the scores you need to obtain on our website. These are basically the admissions requirements and the documents that you need. So if you have any questions about this at this moment, just drop your question in the Q&A, and we can see if we can answer some questions live, or if our admissions colleagues are answering all the questions already.
Yeah, at the moment, yes. So maybe we can go further, and then later on, we can answer a couple of live questions. Thank you, Karin. Okay. So now we're going further with the selection part. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the selection procedure of the business administration program. And this program has a numerous fixes. So this means that we have a maximum of 750 students that can enroll in the program. And for that, you have to take a selection test. As Karen already told you before, is that you first have to register in StudyLink to enroll for the program and to actually start the procedure. And the deadline is early, it's the 15th of January, so in a couple of days. After you are registered, you will receive an email from the university with your student number, in which we call it your UvA ID, and a link to your enrollment checklist. And in the checklist, you can see all the steps you have to follow to successfully enroll for the program. So after that, the first step is to choose your selection test date. If you go to that enrollment checklist, you can choose a test date, and you have to choose a test date before the 15th of January. And you can choose between two different dates. You can take the test in February or in March. In this case, it's the 25th of February or the 4th of March. And on both test dates, the test will start at 2 or 2:30 p.m. I will divide you into groups. So later on in February, I will send you an email and will note to you in which group you are. So you'll take the test at 2 or 2:30. And now a little bit more about the selection test. It's an online test, and the test is 2.5 hours long. The test is multiple choice, and it's about 3 subjects, namely mathematics, economics, and strategy and organization. And you are going to prepare for the test by an online preparation module. You will get access to this module in Canvas 1 week prior to your test. All the specific details about the test and how to prepare will be sent to you by email in February. So then, if you have participated in the selection test, you will get a ranking number, and that ranking number decides if you will get a place in the program. And you will receive this ranking number on the 15th of April, 2023. So all students are basically ranked based on the score of their selection test. So the best students get the ranking number 1, the next 2, and so on. So number 1 till 750 will get a place in the program straight away. And if you have a ranking number that is 751 or higher, you will be placed on a waiting list. So then, what will you do with the number you receive? If they offer you a place in the program, StudyLink will send you an offer. We send you an email with an offer, and you have 14 days or 2 weeks to do so, to accept your offer. And if you don't want to accept your place, or you forget to accept your place, that place will be offered to the next person on the waiting list. So in that way, the waiting list shortens quite quickly. And these offers are sent until 1 August 2023. Yeah, if you want, you can read the whole application process and the details about the selection procedure on our program page. But the most important thing is to remember the dates that you see on the screen right now. So on the 15th of January is the deadline to apply in StudyLink and to also choose a selection test date in your enrollment checklist. And then in February or March, you will take the selection test. And on the 15th of April, you will receive a ranking number. So that's it. Are there any questions in the Q&A?
Yes, there is a question. Where will the study material for the application, I think they mean the selection test, be put or be shown?
Yeah. It's on the online platform learning environment Canvas. So in February, you will get an email, you will receive an email with a link to Canvas. And there you can find all the information. So the modules, how to prepare, information about the test, stuff like that. So in February, you will receive it.
Okay, and another question, what kind of question will be there? For example, multiple choice or open question? Can you say that, or is it?
Yeah, it's no, it's multiple choice. So it's like about each subject. So every subject has 20 questions.
Okay. Yeah. Check. On what platform will the selection test be? Is it Canvas or is that a different?
It's Test Vision, is the application.
Okay.
So you will link to Test Vision. Yeah.
Another question from David. If two people get the same score in the selection test, do they get the same ranking number?
No, we don't. We also look at not only at how many questions you have right, we also look at the difficulty level of the question. So if you have, for example, a specific question right, which is very easy, you get, for example, 1 point. But if you have answered a question right, what is a difficult question? So you get, for example, 1.8, 1.9. So we look at the difficulty level also of the questions, not only how many questions you have right. You answered right.
So everybody gets a different ranking number.
Yeah, yeah.
Here's a question for me from Soraida. How long does it take for the admissions office to check the application if it's complete and meet the requirements? It kind of depends on how busy we are. Right now, the peak moment is starting, so it can take a little longer. But we aim to have an answer about your eligibility between 2 to 6 weeks. So yeah, the sooner you apply, the sooner you will you will receive a decision from us.
Here's a question also about the selection test. Do I have to use a webcam during the test? And the answer is yes. You will be online supervised with Proctorio. And all the information about that, you have to do a desk scan, you have to have a webcam because you are going to be supervised. So all the information about Proctorio and this online supervision will be emailed to you like in February. All the information we put on Canvas. Yeah.
Here's another question. Maybe you know this, Rosemarie. From Lily, regarding the offers on StudyLink, how does accepting offers work? For example, if I accept an offer in another school, but then get accepted for this bachelor, can I decline the previous one and accept the one for this university?
Yeah, you can first accept it. Yeah, it's nice for us that you indicated well if you're going to start with our program, but you can also we can always decline it later. Yeah, but you have to accept your offer within the 2 weeks. Otherwise, it's gone. Yeah.
Yeah, but is it not binding then?
No, it's not binding.
Okay.
And the time doesn't count for your final test score. We don't look at the time.
Here's a question from Nikolai. My status currently says waiting for ranking number. Therefore, after this, they will check if my eligibility is okay. Then they give me a date for the placement test. Not sure what the question is, But if your status says waiting for ranking number, then
It's not.
Yeah, you have to take play. Yeah,
Yeah,
participate
then,
in the selection test.
Yeah, then that's the only thing you have to do.
Yeah.
Then and maybe good to know for. I can maybe tell you a little bit about last year, the numbers, because almost 1,800 people participated in the selection test, and the last ranking number with the place offer was 1153. So we on 1 August we still had 300 or 400 people on the waiting list. So these people were not offered a place at the end. But it's good to know that that if you score a 5.3 or higher, you will get they received a place offer. So all the people lower than a 5.3 didn't get a place in the program.
Yeah. Here's a question from Dia. What do I do if for some reason I am unable to complete the selection test on the day registered?
Yeah, we have to look at the circumstances. If you have technical problems, you can maybe go to another date. Like if you have your selection test on the 25th, you can go to maybe to the 4th of March. But then we look at the circumstances. So we can do a reset, but only if you have a good reason. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just a case-by-case situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just checking the questions.
Yeah.
Are there any test arrangements for dyslexic students?
Yeah, so it's included in the 2.5 hours. So most of the people are done earlier. So we included it in the time. So 2.5 hours should be enough.
It's for everybody. Okay.
Yeah, it's for everybody.
Nicola asked, how can I apply for this test? Is there a link? You will receive a link when you are invited, right?
Yeah. I will send you an email in February, and then you will get access to Canvas 1 week prior to the test, and there you can find all the information and the modules also to learn. Have a look.
Here's a question about the OMPTF test. It's a mathematics certificate course. The question is it very advanced? To be honest, I don't know because I haven't taken the test myself. But it's to determine your level of mathematics. You need to have mathematics A or equivalent to the Dutch mathematics A for this program. And this test is specially designed for the admission to this program. So yeah, it will get, if you pass the test, it will give you a good insight on if you're up to the level of mathematics, and if you don't pass the test, then it was probably too advanced for you. But it's per person different, of course.
The maximum time is 2.5 hours. I see a question in there.
Yeah. Will there be an interview? If so, can I do it in person? No.
No interview, right?
No interviews. No. Nicole asks, what is the mathematic requirement? That depends on your previous education. So you really need to check diploma calculator to see which mathematics course you need to have followed, or if there are extra requirements according to the mathematics. So yeah, that's really per person, per degree that you've already obtained.
Mm-hmm. If you have chosen a selection test date, means that your registration is complete. Yes. Yeah, that's the only thing you have to do for the selection procedure at the moment, for now.
Are there ways how you could already prepare for the test at this moment?
No. We test your learning skills, and we test the preparation module. Yeah. things. However, we expect you to have a certain basic pre-university school level. So, and yeah, the skills to understand the material and apply it and make it your own. So,
yeah. What happens if I didn't successfully register the date of the exam?
Then I will divide you in a group. So the 25th or the 4th of March. Yeah.
What A-level grades do I need for the course? Again, this is really specific, so you need to check the diploma calculator to see if there are specific grades for courses you need for the A-level. So yeah, I would advise you to check the diploma calculator. Alicia is asking, would I be able to go back to your question in the selection test? Can you go back and forth between questions? Or?
That's a good question, but if I have it right, only in the block. So you can go back in the block. So for mathematics, but that's a good question. Maybe you can type it in top desk for me. Wait, I can share the link maybe in the chat. Then I can ask it, then I'm sure.
Yeah, if you could share the link to the...
Oh, can someone from admissions
form?
share the top desk link from because my screen is all right.
I will see if I can find it. Oh yeah, we'll also share the link for the mathematics certificate course. So
thank you. Thank you. If I finish the exam in less time, it affects my ranking? No, the time doesn't have has an effect on the ranking, only your score. And do you need a special kind of calculator during the test? All the information about what is needed during the test and what's not will be also on Canvas. So all the information about that we share on Canvas. Does your mic have to be on during the selection test as well? Yes. What time do you have per block? It's total, it's not per block. It's you have a total of 2.5 hours. Yeah, on the 15th.
The questions in the selection test, are they the same for everybody, or do they refer on the same subject but differentiate from test to test? Everybody has the same questions?
Yeah, not for test 1 and test 2. They are different, but they are, yeah, almost the same.
Yeah, and on the same date, they have the same questions.
Yeah. But the questions will be mixed, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the question from Teus? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
If you've already chosen the test date, but you have not submitted any CV or diploma, are you then already done with applying for the study? No, because these are really two separate things. You have the selection test and the test date and your admissions process. And for the admissions process, we do need a complete application in SIS. And there we also need your CV and your diploma and transcripts. So these are two separate things.
How do I access the selection test thing? The link to the platform, test vision platform for the test will also be in Canvas. You can click on that in Canvas, that link. And you get access to Canvas 1 week prior to the test.
Arjan asked, is the deadline for this application with diploma also the 15th? Yes, it's also the 15th. We really advise you to upload all your documents before the 15th. But you can still upload documents if it's not complete yet after the 15th as well. But we need your documents to determine if you're eligible to the program. So we need your documents as soon as possible. So we would really prefer to have it by January 15th. So Nikolai is asking, if I understood correctly, in my application it says waiting for ranking number, which means I'm waiting on whether I fit the requirements. And after that, now I'm waiting to get an invitation for the placement test in Feb. If your application says waiting for ranking number, then you already meet the requirements, admissions requirements. And then you're just waiting to get an invitation to the selection test.
Yes. It's maybe a little bit confusing because you have to take the selection test first. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
David is asking, will we also have to upload scans of what we wrote down, or is it all about the answers? Also, do we lose marks if we choose the wrong answer for a question? So yeah, the first question is, do they also need to upload scans with the selection test?
No, they should not.
And if they answer a question wrong, do they get like minus points? Or you just get points if you answer correctly, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We only look at points. Yeah, the questions you answered right. Yeah. So one question.
Yeah. If you still have any more questions, just feel free to send them in the Q&A box, and you can always contact us later via the contact form I've shared in the chat. It's all multiple choice, you said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe like 1, 2, 3 open questions, but open is still a little bit, yeah. You will be emailed. We will get an email in February.
Here's a question. If I have not graduated yet, should I upload my predicted grades to the math certificate section of my application checklist? I'm not quite sure what you mean, but if you haven't graduated yet, we need your final examination subjects, and for some degrees we also need your predicted grades. For example, for IB. So yeah, the more you upload in your application insist, the easier it is for us to evaluate your application. And if there are still documents missing, we will send you an email requesting the documents that we still need to evaluate you properly. The last question is answered.
Great.
So if there are no more questions, oh, here's another question. When will this email regarding missing information be sent? As soon as we handle your application. So if you've already submitted your application, we will try to look at it as soon as possible. But yeah, just take a time of 2 to 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks into account.
About the fee.
Yeah, see Yolanda's already typing.
Top.
Are there any open days coming up to visit the campus? Do you know that, Rosemary?
Oh my God. In March, it's no. Okay.
There's a bachelor's week. I see the
Yeah.
17th till 25th of March.
Yeah. That's the open campus day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on that day.
Oh yeah. Open campus day on 17th of March.
And I think that the 20th or the 21st, 22nd, there also will be a session, BA session again. Yeah.
Yeah, but all this information you can also find on the program page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So great.
Okay, there are no more questions. Okay. Yeah, so if there are no more questions, I think we're done here.
Yeah. Thank
you
you.
for thank you for joining. Thank you for your questions. And if you do have more questions, just use the contact form I shared in the chat. And you can also find the contact information on the website.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for listening. Yeah, we're staying here for a couple more minutes. Yeah, if you still have questions, you can drop them.
And good luck with the selection test already.
Yeah, you can do it. Good luck.
Here's another question from Arjan. Is the admissions office reachable by phone for personal questions, or is it only via email? Yes, we are also reachable by phone. I will share the phone number and the hours in the chat for you. And David asks, for programs that are not numerous fixes, for example, business economics, the procedure is basically the same as here minus the selection test, right? Yes, basically, but they also need to participate in matching.
Yeah, that's also a test you have to, but it's not binding, the test. So it's a mandatory test, but it's not binding. So you will get positive or negative advice, but with the negative advice, you can still start with the program if you meet the entry requirements, of course.
Yep. Dia is asking something about the application fee, that it didn't require her to pay. I'm not sure if there's a mistake, but if you send us an email via the contact form, we can look up your application and see if everything's correct or if you still need to pay the application fee. See that a lot of students also already left the webinar and there are no more questions. So I think we can, I think we can stop the webinar, stop the recording. Rosemarie?
Yes, I think so too. Yeah, great.
No, last question. Will I have an answer before 15th of January, or if there is anything to add, you will send an email and doesn't matter if you got the answer after 15th of January. Yeah, if you've submitted your application already, then we will get to your application as soon as possible. So it's possible that you will receive an email from us that we need additional documents after the 15th of January. And then that's no problem. In the email, there will be a deadline for when you need to upload those documents.
Ja, vraag maar, Teus.
Tia, again about the application fee. Yeah, in the previous years, it was not for numerous fixes programs, students didn't need to pay the application fee, but that has changed now. So you do need to pay the application fee for the bachelor BA as well. I think those maybe you need to, it's more convenient if you use the contact form so we can really look at your case individually. Because I see that you're having some trouble with uploading documents and stuff like that. So maybe you can use the contact form or the phone hour to give us a call or to send us an email so we can really look at your application.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for listening, and yeah, good luck with the selection test.
Good luck. We're going to